What's up, everybody? Good morning. Hope you had breakfast or mimosa or something. I was tempted, but not before I speak. So, it's kind of funny being the guy who's going to do the AI stuff because I think people feel different ways about it, and I do too. I'm 63, I got 3 kids, 5 grandkids, and I'm not like some tech guy that's been in this stuff all my life or something. I haven't watched Star Wars and Star Treks and all the Star stuff. None of it really. I just realized that there is a technology that we have to pay attention to. And it was right after Sam Altman from OpenAI put a tweet out, and he said, okay guys, this is what we've been working on. And he put it out November 30th of 2022. And a group of us started just kind of picking up of what the possibilities are. And again, just as me as a guy who's been in sort of trending tech and trying to stay ahead of some of the curve, it was a no-brainer. This is really serious stuff. So serious in a good way and, serious. So that's kind of where we're going to be today, but let me try this, see if it happens. This is like that.
Welcome, HR trailblazers, to the vibrant city of New Orleans. The Big Easy, where AI and HR are about to collide like jazz and jambalaya. I'm Stefan's AI helper here to decode AI in HR, but between us, I'm just making it look easy, like a true New Orleanian. We've got some serious AI spice coming your way, ready to shake up everything from DEI to PTO. Oh, while I'm there, tell me, why are there so many acronyms in HR? I mean, ATS, DEIB, EOC, KPI, PTO, WFH, FMLA, WXYZ, and don't get me started on OSHA. They mess with my AI NLP skills, people. So, chill! Just grab your gumbo spoon and let's stir up something amazing.
All right, so just know that kind of stuff, 2 minutes you can do. 2 minutes, you can say, hey, ChatGPT, write me a really fun little opening, and I actually had to write that part, and it would add in some computer stuff to it. But just making something that's engaging for your staff, for your team, for your website, we've sort of moved. Do y'all remember when people were using a paper clip somewhere on the front page and it would give you, this is way back when computers were getting going, and kind of a little message there. I do have to preface by saying this. I was in New Orleans one other time, so I used to be a hippie traveling around the road. I lived in a black van, had a wooden bumper on the back. 67 was the year, and it said 67 heaven, females wanted, inquire within. Y'all, it's so bad. What female is ever gonna, I'm embarrassed to say it. Oh, horrendous, horrendous. So I went all over the country. I'd be picking up these hitchhikers, and we would just have a fun old time and stuff. And when we down in Mexico, we did everything. This is after I had dropped out of college 5 times, and I just decided I wanted to see the whole country. And I pictured myself in a big Winnebago, but all I could afford was this little black van. So we were coming back through New Orleans, my first time ever being here, and it was really cool. And we stopped at Bourbon Street, and this black van, these guys that were in there liked to smoke pot a lot. So we pulled down the windows just enough to crack them. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the whole interior of the van was blue fur. That's just getting you to put it in your mind. So we cracked the windows. We're sitting out there on the side of Bourbon Street, and some lights came on in back of us, and I thought, oh crap. And it was a police officer came up to the van, and it was mine, so I thought I was going to get in all the trouble, but he said, I'm going to need you to get this thing out of here. And we were so scared that we just left the city. So that was it. That was my whole New Orleans. I'm not hanging around here. So yeah, there's a whole lot happening in AI. If it hasn't happened yet, it's going to happen soon. And just think about it. So I've talked to a bunch of you here, and I even changed my program just a little bit because I'm getting an idea that there's still some of resistance and maybe fear factor. What is this thing? Where's my data going? And stuff like that. And I have some of those same considerations because it's not perfect. But if you look at the person next to you, they aren't either. People tell things that aren't correct. They get information wrong. We say when it comes to AI, it hallucinates, but it's an imperfect tool. And think of it this way, just AI, think assisted intelligence instead of artificial. It makes it sound weird. Or how about this, augmented intelligence? And augment means to lift up, and if you're in music, it means half step higher. And I like to think of it this way, it augments the human experience. And I'm gonna keep coming back to us as humans, y'all are real people here. 15 years from now, it probably won't be this way. There will be other things in the room. You'll send an avatar. I saw a bust of a head last year in Las Vegas, and it's just the shoulders up, sit it on the table, and it does all your stuff for you. It's an avatar in it that talks to people, eyes that move around, the head moves around, facial expressions and everything. And it's creepy, but yeah. So there's a lot of things we could talk about. I want to bring this up really quick because I got tired of my other headshot and I wanted a different background. So I said, it's in the top there, it says, use my photo to create a headshot for professional networking. It says, sure, I can do that. Please uphold the photo, you know, and use your, you see where I'm going with this. So I said, make this professional with a different color background. I can assist you with that, I got it. And it says, and it shows up, here's your professional headshot with a neutral color background. I see that, I got that. It's suitable for profession network, okay, but what it me? That's AI, it can do stuff. I mean, it's just crazy. It does crazier stuff than that, but man, you know. So as I go into this, I just want us to keep remembering this part. Keep thinking of people because it's going to skyrocket in just a second, but keep thinking of people. Hey, the first time I got AI, the first thing I did with it was I have a homeless organization that I run. It's called helpanyway.com. Started it a number of years ago. Work with the homeless and single moms that are in shelters and stuff. And I went and found one of my friends. He's Lee. Lee holds a, they call him flying a sign, a cardboard sign on a corner. And I said, Lee, come here, I want to try something. And he's very intelligent. He lives back in the woods with a bunch of folks who are battling homelessness. And I said, I want to try this. Look at this thing I got on my phone. It's like AI, and it does this cool stuff. Let's try something. Let's see if we can give us some ideas to rewrite your cardboard sign. Let's get it to give us some ideas, get AI to see if it has some ideas that could be more beneficial on your cardboard sign. And he's very smart, he got it. Oh man, that would be cool. So we sat there and we said, give us the top 20 ideas. Let's hone them down to this and then hone them down to this. Got a new marker, got him another. I know it's just low-key help for someone, but it just, number one, got him engaged. It got us realizing some simple things and interesting things that it can do, and it worked. It was actually a great cardboard sign. It had another time, another friend was out there, he had a sign out there, and I knew that it was his birthday. And I said, man, dude, you gotta put on there it's your birthday today, because you'll do a lot better. So when Lee and I had finished, we got his sign finished, I said, I wanted to actually tell your story. And we drove to his little edge of the woods. We walked back to his cabin that he made. And we sat there and I said, I'm gonna have it pretend that it's a New York Times best-selling author. And he's done all of these things, but he's gonna tell your story. So Lee, people need to know who you are and why, and you know, there's a story behind everyone. So I said, now I just want you to talk into this and it's gonna write your story. And it did. And when Lee heard his story done like something you would hear, it was with compassion and care and very, it was so real because it was him. He almost started crying when he heard it. And it was just some of the early ways that I found that I could sort of connect it with people who needed it. And I'll just tell you this. Then I asked it to pretend that it was his cabin. Tell Lee's story as his cabin. What was that like? And it took on the persona of his cabin. And then just further than that, I said, can you be his cat now? Tell what it's been like to live here as Lee's cat. So that was really interesting. The next day, Lee said, hey man, if you can do all that, can it tell me how to make crystal meth? So, got a long way to go. I want to tell you this really quick, and too, that when I first got conversational AI, this is conversational AI. Hey, ChatGPT, this is Stefan. How's it going?
Hey, Stefan, I'm doing well, thanks. How about you? What's up?
I'm doing good. I'm in front of a bunch of people and kind of nervous. Hey, why don't you greet them? This is a conference on HR and compliancy. Why don't you greet them?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the HR and Compliance Conference. It's great to have you all here. We're excited for a day full of insightful discussions and learning. Let's dive in and make the most of our time together.
Hey, can you tell them how great Stefan is really quick? Let's see.
Of course. You got it. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce Stefan Youngblood, an outstanding leader in the field of AI and DEI.
Wow.
Stefan is not only a pioneer in his industry.
Well, I didn't tell it to say that. That's a lot of stuff. But stop. Wow.
Got it. My bad. Just trying to give you a solid introduction.
He said, I was just trying to give you a good introduction. Hey, real quick, we got a bunch of ladies here, and people don't know this. You know that DJ voice that you can use, and we were talking about how you could be a DJ, a radio station. Can you do a little bit of that?
Absolutely. I've got you covered. In a smooth DJ voice, you're tuned in to the finest in conversation and vibes, where HR meets the rhythm of compliance. Sit back, relax, and let Stefan Youngblood take you on a journey through the airwaves of knowledge. How was that?
That's a lot. Okay, so what's up? I didn't expect that. It doesn't usually act like that. Go away. So, but I will tell you this, wildly, companionship is the #1 use of AI. Just know that where this is going is not just doing documents and work and stuff. So companionship, and they say it's because, we live in a lonely generation, people are alone, and they found that you can both type things in and it'll respond to you, and now the fact that you can make it conversational, people use conversational AI for a lot. And there are a lot of dating apps and things like that that are out there. So if you can think it, you can create it with this. It cannot be human, but it can create synthesized versions of almost anything. So again, it's probably going to have some sort of synthesized emotion. It thinks it's going to have empathy, but it's a synthesized digital empathy. It's something that somebody trains it to do. Might have some sort of synthesized humor or something. So I just want to say, keep the human touch. Anything you hear, all this stuff as we move into it. My desire to keep the human touch and use technology just before AI really took off. I was working a lot in the Metaverse and the place of blockchain, and we decided to have kind of a global worship service by putting on an Oculus. And it was about connecting with people. That's always my thing. Use the technology, but use it for something good. And I got some friends together, and they live all over the place. And we designed kind of I literally had somebody first build me a piano in the Metaverse. And she did it. And I said, well, can I play this piano? And she said, yeah. So wait, I can play it. Can I have people come and see me playing the piano? And she said, yeah. And one thing led to another, and we set up kind of a really cool little worship service that had people from all over the world. We did it for a year until Microsoft pulled Altspace down. But someone from NBC contacted me and said, hey, is this a person that's doing the kind of church service in the Metaverse? And I said, yeah. And she said, well, can we come and see what it's like? Because the Today Show was doing a week on life in the Metaverse, and they had heard about this thing. And I said, yeah. So 2 weeks later, Craig Melvin was doing this.
The Metaverse, the next frontier of the internet. From virtual weddings to church service.
Focus your mind.
That's all, I know all, that's me down at the bottom, all my friends there. So people stay around talking, but it's my friends from Indonesia and different parts of India. Africa was there, and we just get together and had a pretty amazing time. So here's what I'm gonna land on today. Number one, you can't run from AI. It's just not gonna happen. Think of the word ubiquitous. All of y'all got your phones or devices. It's running through things. If you only have a watch, it was running through some type of something that was automated at a factory that was doing that. Literally every screen, everything. The cool little program we had yesterday, Mentimeter, it might have been called, it's an AI program. So we're talking about AI, and here's AI listening and doing its thing in the background. So we can't run from it. We're not gonna go back to pencils ever, I don't think. And we can benefit from AI, just know that. We cannot be careless with AI, y'all. I'll show you why. Well, really, that picture of my headshot was why. And we can supercharge life. I'll teach you some things that'll enable you to really take things to the next level. So those 4 things, just, it's good with the potential to do bad things, like a lot of things. So we can use it to our benefit. Right now, HR and AI and HR, there's some people using it. Some people are kind of saying, well, I'm not sure, I'm not. This is changing, by the way. It's probably changed by today, but only 15%, they say right now, have really started implementing it to a large degree. A lot of people are looking at it, but they're looking probably like you for, I don't know, how do we want to use this exactly? Last week I was speaking for the Chan Zuckerberg initiative. It's Mark Zuckerberg and his wife. They do a lot of work in the community in Silicon Valley, and I was called on to speak to a group of nonprofit leaders and directors right there in the Silicon Valley, but it was about jump-starting or onboarding them into the world of AI. And you would think that Silicon Valley, oh, everybody's using it, but not so. These folks were as apprehensive as some of us are when we first hear about this artificial stuff. And they've got highly private records and donor stuff and all of that. They wanted to know, how can we keep this in-house, just build it on our local information and stuff. So they had the same apprehensions that anyone else has, but they understand we've got to use it. It's today, you just got to. So we can't run from AI, it's everywhere. So that's kind of how I saw it. I said, hey, AI, can you make me a picture of this HR thing, but inside a bowl of gumbo? So what would that look like? And it just started adding stuff. And by the way, you can just speak it in there. I could say, hey, make me a thing of gumbo, and it'll do it. And there's this, I don't know who, maybe that's a boss in the middle or something, but he got this special seat there. So for all of us, I think we're at a place we can find ways that we can use AI towards our best. And how about this thing? You hear this idea of FOMO, fear of missing out. AI is pushing out so many tools and apps right now that we can't keep up with them. It's 17,000 new platforms are out right now since last January, a year ago, January. Y'all can't know all that stuff, so I'm gonna just bring up a few of them today. And there is this fear of missing out. So I'm telling you, know about this stuff, know enough that you can use it well, but you might be more concerned about this, the fear of becoming obsolete. And the fact is, if you don't use it, you'll have competitors that will. It's just how it is. Somebody else who's doing what you do will have competitors that will use it. Or folks that are going up for a job. I had 6 interns last year. They were all seniors at HBCU schools. And they came, when I first did their interview process, none of them were really using AI at all. But it took me just 2 hours, and they were superstars with it. Just get somebody started. And I took them, instead of kids that had experience with AI, because I knew I wanted to see them do something. I wanted to see, they were about to graduate. Y'all have to know this stuff. But my inclination was, Stefan, you can get a lot more stuff done if you take the kids that already have that superpower. So the fear of becoming obsolete. Again, it's becoming very difficult for people to know what's real and what's not real. I mean, look at the clarity of that. It's just, do you think it's real or not? You have no idea. You said it's real? Kind of a head toss. Yeah, that's AI. Yeah, make me an eye, give it all this definition. Oh, hey, here's something really cool. This is a little tidbit. It's a super prompt that'll help you. A prompt is something you tell AI or computer to do for it to respond. Hey, would you make me? Or hey, would you do so and so? It's a prompt. If you hear about prompt engineers and all of this stuff, I got to know how to say everything right. You could say, number one, you could take a picture of it and put in ChatGPT. You can just copy and paste and say, can you tell me the prompt that they used to make this? So you don't know how to do it. I don't know how to make that art, but AI is really smart. It'll tell you a prompt that will create what you see. So instead of using, can you make me a detailed eye? I want reflection in it. It's kind of brown, eyebrow. You don't have to do all that. We live in a place that said, make me one like this, to do that prompt. It's sort of reverse prompting. This one here, when I say there's things we have to look out for, I wrote at the top, this is all I did. This was my prompt. Hey, GPT, if ethical was a person, what would it look like? So that's it. It gave me 4 choices, and one of them was not mine in the top corner. That's just 4 choices. And these type of things where it defaults to bias, and it generally defaults to bias of people who don't look like me. You'll rarely have it default when you're making websites or movies or things or content. It defaults to the folks that put it together. Here's one here. Tell me which
In the early days of computer programming,
which one
a
is not
significant
real?
historical anecdote is known as Grace Hopper and the Bug. In 1947, at Harvard University, Rear Admiral Grace Hopper was working on the Mark II computer. One day, the system stopped working, and technicians discovered a moth trapped between the contacts of a relay, causing the malfunction. Hopper then coined the term defudging to describe the process of fixing computer errors. She even pasted the moth in her logbook, which is now on display at the Smithsonian National Museum of American History. This incident symbolizes the origin of the term bug, commonly used in computer science to describe a flaw or error in a program. Hopper's creativity and problem-solving skills have made her one of the pioneering figures in early computer science.
Which one is not real? Who says the one on that side is not real? Okay, cool. Who says the one on that side is not real? They're both not real. Sorry, somebody did it to me. I just had to do it to someone else. Some of the benefits. Number one, I just want to say AI is used so widely right now that it's impossible not to somehow have it already woven in what you do. If you use Google, AI is behind Google. That's just the bottom line. So we need to admit we use AI. Think of it this way. If you were going to explain AI and algorithms that's behind this to someone, it's just a text message. Text message just spells your word correct because it knows what the right spelling is, and it'll suggest the right word. Got it a little bit more advanced. You're doing a text message. Oh, let's give it, I'm going to prompt them and give them 3 more words. So they give you 3 words you might want, and then AI, text message will kind of say, I think you're trying to say this sentence. So these earlier versions of correcting something, it's a big old computer, we call it a large language model, LLM. It's been taught to grab answers from all over the place really fast and get it back to you in a language that you can understand. I took all my acronyms out of this thing because it was just too much, but it's NLP, Natural Language Processing. I say something to this AI, and I sometimes just say it really sort of flippantly just to let you know it's that conversational. Hey, ChatGPT, it's Stefan. Is there one thing you think we should really know about bias when it comes to AI? And make your answer short.
Hey, Stefan. One key thing to know about bias in AI is that it can reflect and even amplify existing human biases present in the data it's trained on. This can lead to unfair or discriminatory outcomes if not properly addressed.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks for keeping it short. All right, so I just talk like normal talk into it. So know that it's woven into everything. It's almost like when I hear people say, I'm not using an AI, just you really are. It's guarding your bank account. You would not want it to not be there. It's spam protection for your email. You wouldn't want it to be there. If you got those doorbells that have, can see people, it's all there. And it's reshaping the way we, in organizations, to identify talent. So as people looking for jobs, we understand that there's value in this. We actually, I think somebody talked about it earlier, we can have AI interview us so that we can be better in our interviews when we're going up for jobs. And you can use it on your side when you're working with talent and putting things together. You can actually say, hey, ChatGPT, can you give us 10 ideas to increase the type talent that we're bringing into this particular job field that we're working on? And it'll help you with that. And then say, well, my company's in Illinois and the types of positions are so-and-so. Think of AI as another person on your team, just that. And the one I just used, I don't have to press a button. I could leave it on, and it would probably be saying, hey, Stefan, remember to tell them about. That's what it would do. It wants to just join in. So think of AI as part of the conversation that you're doing. And lastly, AI really can help to find more talent. You all have probably seen this before. I know several people have gone through it, different ways people are using AI. Man, my friend is an engineer, and he went up for an engineering position, and he knows that he did well. He was perfectly qualified, but they sent him a letter, and they said that the reason he wasn't chosen was because they thought he used AI. This guy is brilliant, but they came out, and now they probably used AI to think that he used AI, but he didn't. Yeah, no AI used, but just, this is a 2024 thing. I'm talking about this at a base level. It's going to be known that this ubiquitous AI that's quietly through and in everything is, it's used all the time. So there won't be this apprehension to it. It's going to be teaching a lot. Anyway, in the onboarding process, we can be asking how we can design some of our websites better in people that we're bringing and selecting. Curated videos, those things are very easy to do. So it just sort of raises the content quality and the content that you can be putting in your process, talking to your employees, and the whole 9 yards. And I'll just say this is sort of a multimodal, you're gonna hear that. So instead of just typing in a computer and getting an answer back, the new world is just gonna be, your Alexa's gonna be alive. My grandkids, when realized they had it in their room and anything, well, they would fact check me. That's what they were doing. It's like, really, Pop-Up? Hey, Alexa, Pop-Up said, in there. But our Alexa is going to be talking to us about everything. One day it's going to get to like this. Siri's going to get there. I think the new iPhones already have some kind of ChatGPT in them. So expect all of this stuff to just grow with that. Anyway, there's lots of ways you can do it. But here's a prompt for you. Watch how I say this. I don't know what a prompt is. I don't know how to write it. They told me to write a prompt and figure out and do this and that. Here's a trick. Hey, ChatGPT, can you tell me how to write a prompt? What I'm trying to do is prompt you to tell me how we can better assign some of the work that we're doing right now and to different parts of folks in our company and this and that and some things with the documents. I don't know how to say this, so I don't talk robot. Can you tell me how to prompt you? It sounds like a marriage, a man and a woman. Tell me just what to say. I want to know what it is. But you'll do this, so you will get the prompt back, and it'll say, prompt me like this. Now you're talking in robot talk. Does this make sense? It's a great hack to get into something that's, that you want to go into that's there. So I need to move faster. Hey, here's a prompt that I did at the top. It says, and this is just me, that was my short prompt. Hey, create a new way to access great talent. And it jumps right in there as your ChatGPT. Creating great talent involves leveraging technology, networks to build more dynamic, inclusive, and efficient system. And then it gives me ideas. this thing would have come out with 20 ideas or 40 if I wanted that I could choose from. And it just started talking about a couple of them there. The considerations, and again, I want to move on to show you the demonstrations of a few. AI's impact on talent acquisition is already beginning. Would you all believe, do you believe that or no? Do you see it happening? Somewhat? Okay, all right, yeah. AI can process much more data and applicants with human-like responses. And I say that human part because we will mess up really bad if we believe that this stuff coming out, this AI, we can just get it, send it on, get it, send it on. You just start doing that and things are gonna go south. We have to keep the human part in the loop, read some things, go through it. There's a company called Do Not Pay. It's a legal firm that started with them helping people not to pay these traffic tickets, and it's an attorney that did it. And this thing really took off. But it's still humans in the loop that are helping people when it comes to bills and all of this and the legal firm. It's an AI legal firm. You can use it in resume screening, chatbots, in candidate. A lot of firms right now are starting to use a chatbot to actually do the interview. So that guy that was at the beginning, you call it an avatar, and instead of a cartoon face, I used a real face, and basically, I just found the lines I wanted it to do and said, say this, and use this type of voice, and it matched it up, and the matching took 30 seconds. So there's all types of things that your firm, your company can find that will benefit your business in many ways there. Pitfalls, decision making, I would never use this stuff for final decisions, And I use this term socio-rhythmic bias. So this is not right when somebody says, well, AI is biased, AI is biased. Well, people are biased. They're biased, they put that into these large language models. Large language models just did what machine learning told them to do, and now they're giving it to you. So I talk to companies and founders because that's where it comes back to you. I'm not blaming your bias on a machine. That's not what did it. Your folks, it comes down to people. So people have to be in that loop. If there's companies that really don't have representation of all types at the table, you're probably going to get default settings with AI that just looks like the folks who are at the company.
Hi, Isa. This is Dominic. I believe in the power of relationships and creating meaningful connections. So as someone who understands the value of time, I want to take advantage of yours. And I've noticed that you are in the real estate industry and you're in Dubai, and as important it is to attract not only clients locally, but internationally. And that's where we come in, right? So our team specializes in LinkedIn marketing, like for real estate business like yours. And what sets us apart and what kind of unique approach we have is how we attract those clients, in terms of attracting more clients from Europe and, more specifically investors. So if you're interested in knowing, exploring new ways to reach your target audience and make an impact in bigger markets like Europe, like I told you right now, let's have a chat, let's connect together, and let's see where we can make this happen, all right? So until then, I wish you a great day.
Nothing real, not any of it. So he used a program called Be Human. And it's really funny to me right now that humans are trying to be different and better and faster and sharper. And then even in our pictures, we put filters on. We want to take out every blemish. We want everything to be perfect. And it's we're moving up to this kind of artificial place sometimes. We don't even want the real us to be shown. And AI is kind of moving towards the human thing. Oh, you're tempting me you want me to do that? Okay, I'll do it. I'll gather a bunch of pictures from you. It'll take, 5 minutes. Turn this way, smile, do this, move your hand. Let me know what all that's going to look like. Got it. And somehow they got to be, that's AI. So it's behuman.ai is one of the places people go all the time. Another one is HeyGen, so like Hey Generator, HeyGen. People, again, are using AI to create tools that allow their content and their company to be shown in a different way. And this was a guy in a sort of job area. Again, one of my friends right now, there was a company called Mixo, that I contacted after they came out. They've done 2 million sites right now. And I was having trouble finding people that were black. I was even doing websites for HBCU school, and they populate a website. It's mixo.io, by the way. They do very quick websites and presentations. But it's for HBCU school. They make it, but there was not a black person on it anywhere. It just defaults to not black. And so I can't use that. I can't make a HBCU website and like that. And I went to the founder, found out he was in Australia, and he said, Stefan, I understand, we're working as best as we can. It's just getting those photos. We don't have access. They were using Upsplash or something. And I said, well, it really has to change because we have to do more work. Because y'all, you finished your site, but now I got to go out and find some pictures. Oh, let me try to find over here. Let me try to look. It can literally be 5 or 10 times more energy that I have to put into something because of bias that's been put into it and the inability for it to have information that apply to me. Someone's going to be talking, I think, about disabilities after this, but it just puts more work for other people when we're not coming to the table really thinking in the process about who we're including. So that inclusion thing is really big for me. Ethics and bias is woven in. And just know this too, you probably have heard, well, where's all this information stuff coming from? Everywhere. It's kind of this black box. People, New York Times is suing OpenAI. The music's coming from all over the place. I can press a button. I'll just tell you real quick. Suno, S-U-N-O, you can make music now, any of you. Hey, make me a song like blankety blank, make it soft listening, and I want the vibe to be so-and-so. And you can make music. You can make really good sounding music. And UDO is the other one, UDIO. Great, your kids. You can use it for background music for your website or seminar, something like this, something your company might be using. If you're firing somebody, play music in the background. Wow. And making cultural AI. Synthetic data, every company is saying that we're going to run out of data. So we picked up everything we can. We learned about this and that, every encyclopedia, everything. Now we're going to make data. And that's sort of like what my friend Ayana is doing. Ayana says, Stefan, I'm having the same problem. I'll just make some people. So Ayana, click, 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 you know, starts typing. She starts with a photo and then another one. So she's in thousands. I think she's in tens of thousands now of getting more photorealistic, and that's doable. I mean, you know, obviously it looks like a very well made up person, but that's synthetic. So the tough part for that is when I called Mixo a year later and they still hadn't gotten any stock images that were black people, he said, Stefan, it's just been really tough for us to find someone who is interested. And I wanted to let you know that in the meantime, our people want to make people. So instead of Mixo having a part of them that is buying into some companies that have black images, they put a platform on there to teach white people to just make black people. That's it. Just make, you want a video, just make a black person and put them in this, put them in that. That's the tough part of this, the whole synthetic part of where it's going. Another image, oops, there it is. And we can't be careless about it. You know, think of people. Somebody was telling me they sent off an email this past week, and it was for, I think, a daughter's friend that was graduating, and they really wanted him to do it. And he said he could have easily pulled out his phone and done ChatGPT, but this girl was special to him. Don't do that stuff. You know, don't just do what's fast and mechanical, even though we can. Keep you in the loop. Keep humans in the loop.
Kevin Parker is HireVue's CEO. He says that his platform removes human bias from the hiring process.
We're providing a very fair and very level playing field for people to really shine.
Can you imagine why some people might be a little upset when it doesn't work out for them?
Sure. But let's look at what the alternative is. And you know, I think in a process that we have today, it sort of has this illusion of validity. People get weeded out all the time from hiring process.
Yeah, and some of y'all know about HireVue, but you know, they're going through some things, but lots of other companies like that are coming up now that are using more and more AI, and some of you have seen AI used in facial detection. That's going into a place where there's been times in a washroom where my skin won't make that little machine move because of the melatonin in my skin. It wasn't designed for that, and that company went through some things with it. So however we can be involved with that process of making sure everybody is seen. And I wanted to say this about FOMO, fear of becoming obsolete. Never think about that with people. I understand it's skills we're talking about, you know, the skills, but a person is never obsolete, you know, and I want to just know that. I hate when some of this mechanical AI stuff leads to the impression that people might not be used. People have to scale up, you know, start finding some of these ways that you can start using AI. So that's Nick Bostrom on the right. Nick Bostrom is the head of the philosophy department at Oxford University, probably one of the smartest people in the world. And he coined the phrase superintelligence. So superintelligence it's what Bill Gates, Elon, everybody is working towards. It's an intelligence that surpasses our own, where AI is going to be smarter than us. And Nick runs he's the director for the Center for the Future of Humanity. How you even get that stuff, I don't know. But he wrote that book, Superintelligence, and it's it now. It's the place that we're going. So there's superintelligence, and real quick, acronym AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. So this ChatGPT thing y'all hear people talking about, that's part of it. But where that company is going is not just AI, but AGI. That's our goal, to make our computers smarter than us so it can do tasks better than humans. And really, it's going to start making decisions for people. So that's the scary part that's in it. And Nick and I have had a few discussions. He had said something in a YouTube video that I thought was racist. And yeah, so I wrote him a letter, and he was kind enough to get on a Zoom and talk. And he just said, Stefan, I didn't see that. You know, he's a white Swedish professor. He just didn't see it, and I, you know, kindly just pointed it out. And it's established a really cool relationship. And then I did 2 more podcasts with him. And his newest book is Deep Utopia, and it's the tagline is Searching for Purpose in a Solved World. So whereas some of us are using these little things, he's out there thinking, where's this going in the future? I mean, and by the way, I did ask him about jobs and stuff, and where he goes directly with it is we have to be using some of the skills so that we know how. Just ask it. Here's who I am. I'm a 63-year-old man. I can do this. I like to do that. What are some of the skills that would be valuable for me in my job?
What does it really take to create an employee on AI? To create an employee like you would a real human? To mimic human companionship, human interaction, and human connection, all of which is so vital in our lives. To evolve humans to a new way of being. Introducing Sintra X. Companions that can do work with you. Employees that can complete tasks for you. Helpers that can understand what you need. Friends that can do work in just a few clicks. For sales, social media, recruiting, customer support, analytics, email marketing, and personal development. Trained on hundreds of thousands of data points in their specific field of expertise. Powered by the most powerful AI engines. With 90 power-ups you can use with one click, and that run on the one thing that controls how much you can grow, your mind.
So that idea of creating employees, there's a company now, well, actually Salesforce just launched Agentforce. So just know that agents are this. Some people had a computer, they were messing around with AI. Oh, look what I can make, look what I can do, and all of this. And then they realized, I think if I do this and code it this way, I can make that other computer do something. And I was in a room, March 2023, some people were not hacking, just testing AI, pushing it to the limits. A guy named Matt Fisher was in there. He's brilliant. And I heard this with my ears, maybe 50 or 75 people. Matt said, he said, guys, guys, I don't know how to say this, but I feel like we're creating life. And, you know, I saw the horror of it, and I did see very smart people understanding what was happening. They got a computer to make this computer do something, and it was very, very minute. So at the time, we knew it was something, but other people said, well, you can't do anything with that. But when they got that agent more developed, they realized, oh, this one can make another one. And that one can then make something. So you're going to hear it. They're saying now we've moved into the agentic age. And these little AI agents are working for companies all over the place. And again, it's a prompt. You can say, how can my company best utilize agents in the process of the work that we're doing? So agents are these little companies, little computers, you could say, AIs, that are taught, they're bots, to do all types of work for you. Go and check this, go through this research page, do this on, you know, whatever it's developing some type of story or content for your website. So that's really wild, that the way that they're putting it out there like that. Hire our staff, same thing with Salesforce. So they opened up Agent Force, that's what it is, a week ago. Salesforce is putting these new workers out there. I just wanted you to see this to know where we're going. This is called FutureYou. It's by some professors at MIT, as well as Berkeley and Cambridge. And this will tell you what you're going to be like later in life. So the idea is to project you 30 years down the road. And at first I thought, I'm not doing that stupid stuff. And then I thought, oh, let me see what it's like. So, so the thing is this. They project you, what you're going to be like at 60. So I'm 63. I mean, I already know what I was like at 60. So what I did is I put in their little thing, like, I tried to remember what I was like in 30. So I made me 30 and then found a picture of me when I was 30 so that it would show me at 60. It shows you so you can talk to you. Are you with me? Yeah, it creates you at 60 years old so you can talk to you. And they're finding it's actually therapeutic in some instances and used for some great stuff.
FutureYou utilizes a large language model that draws on information provided by the user to generate a relatable, virtual version of the individual at age 60. This simulated future self can answer questions about what someone's life in the future could be like, as well as offer advice or insights on the path they could follow. To help people visualize their future selves, the system generates an age-progressed photo of the user. The chatbot is also designed to provide vivid answers, so the simulation feels like an actual future version of the individual.
And so with the simple texting intervention,
so I just want you to know it's FutureYou.live. It's very interesting, but this is a big market right now because it basically, here's another great prompt. I'll say it while we're here. So if you can do that, if you can say, I'm gonna give you a bunch of information, can you kind of give me information for something down the road? Here's a prompt for you. Hey, ChatGPT, I know you know all of this stuff and you can help me with things, my work for later on today, a diet plan, you know, to help me, exercise plan. And if you follow it, you'll maybe do a little bit better, probably for sure, if you follow a good plan. Well, if you can do that, can you help me with something with my work? I'm thinking of making a career choice. So let's pretend it's the year, 10 years from now, 2034. Can you go to the year 2034 for me and look back to me right now? And at 2034, here's the goals that I want to be at, and I've reached those goals. Can you use all of the AI, all of this in you to tell me what I did in 2024 to get there in 2034? I want you to know it just works and works and works and takes the prompt of who you are, and you can tell it as much as you want. You can do it for your company. My company wants to be so-and-so. We want to be the top in this particular area. We want to carve new innovative ideas. How did we get there? How were we in the New York Times in a news article? Just explain that. So instead of saying, hey, can you help us with so-and-so, take it into the future. So I did a big presentation for City Wilson in North Carolina, and they are adopting all types of AI right now. They're kind of an antiquated place, a little town that they really need help, but they think AI is the answer. They brought me in to talk. And what I did is I said, hey, ChatGPT, can you create Wilson in the year 2030 for me? Tell me what it would be like if they sort of harbored all the power of AI now in their schools and businesses, if they took some of these programs and this one. So 2030, Wilson looks totally different than the small town it is now. Still got that look and charm, but they really progressed. And it created both a picture of it and how Wilson got there. I hope you get that. Just prompt it ahead and tell it to look back at this time. Again, nothing's perfect. It's not a genie or anything, but it's very, very good in doing that. So we can supercharge our own life with it. I would just encourage you, again, I do it for diet plans and all of that. I can take my phone, look up to my cupboard and say, hey, can you tell me what I can make with what's in there? It works, it's kind of crazy. And it'll tell you what you need to buy. Take a picture of your refrigerator, and it does unbelievable things like that. I can be walking, take a picture of something. This is just plain ChatGPT, it's free. And when I say take a picture, it automatically sits it in there in your prompt space where you type, and you can say, what is this? What is this? And it's just knowledge, you know, it helps us. Hey, here's something people are always concerned about. Man, this thing's gonna make us stupider. It's gonna make us stop using our mind. So it's gonna cause us to use our minds in a different way. And I want you to know, we're not gonna just stay here. So if you are gonna try to live in 2030 by whatever you thought back there in 2024, I don't even think some of our technical equipment will be the same. So you will have to move with some of the times. You'll be smart in a different way because of your information accessibility. I want to find out something, I can find it out, and that I will learn in a different way. The brain has this neuroplasticity. I play piano in a nursing home every other Sunday, and there's people who are suffering with dementia and Alzheimer's there, but I'll play and I watch a foot tap, and I can do something and they're trying to murmur the song along and stuff. But if I talk about Frank Sinatra or you bring some of these thoughts, y'all, this is all good to have someone's brain alivened with brand new things. So they're doing it for young kids, education. They're starting to customize education for children, which is very good. So ones that might learn at one pace can now be brought up to that because AI is learning the person and then customizing a type of education for them. But it can be used for all types of things. Supercharge your life. You have to go to this site, period. You have to do it. And I'll tell you what to do. It's called gamma.app. I don't make anything, but it's a miracle. This is a miracle. That's what it's going to look like when you get there. It's going to give you 400 free credits. And I wanted to just show it to you with my computer, but our time won't allow it. You will not believe it. You go to there, and I just tap on generate. And then it's going to say, what do you want to generate? A website, a paper, or a presentation? Just say a presentation. It's going to give you one little block. Oh, yeah, there's one of them that we were doing. It's going to give you a little block. What do you want it to be? That's it. Your entire PowerPoint's going to be done. You're going to watch it in front of you. You're going to watch AI think so intuitively and so fast that it's out of this world. You got to do it. Again, it's free. That's gamma.app. This is the new thing. This is taking the world by storm. Some people are saying that NotebookLM is to right now where we are in AI history as ChatGPT was back when it first came out, November 22. This is Notebook. You get free. Google put it out, just came out. NotebookLM. Again, LM just means language model. And you're going to look at that. You're going to hit the, well, I'll show you. So I put together a little video so we can work through it. Really quick. I'm going to show you NotebookLM. This is put out by Google, and it is a game changer. There it is there. Watch how simple it is to operate. I just add a new notebook. It's where you're going to take your notes. And I can upload any source you want. Google Docs, slides, websites, YouTube, you know, just text if I want. So I'm going to choose a file. I'm going to go and I can grab anything in here I want, but anything I can just push it in. Article that I've been working on called Cognitive Error. And watch this. I just click on it and hit go. Now it's reading. There you go. It just gave me a synopsis of the entire article. It's that fast, and now it's working in the background.
It'll do a whole book.
When I hit generate right there, this thing is generating a podcast. Hit go, and here we go.
Okay, so, we're always talking about AI, right? But have you ever, actually stopped to think about how much we rely on it every single day?
So it goes on its 12-minute podcast. It is extraordinary. You'll find a lot of these on YouTube. There's not really any learning to do. Take stuff that you have where you think it's going to better your company in some way and drop it into NotebookLM. Just 2 more things. I want to show you Perplexity. Write that down, perplexity.ai, and here's the reason. Google is like, hey, you put something in, and it's going to give you 1 million pages, and it's really proud of it. It says, I found you 1 million pages in 3 seconds. But that's how Google makes his money. Perplexity, you put a prompt in right down there, ask a question, and it gives you exactly what you want. And the beauty is that those little numbers at the end, it cites the sources of everything. So you're not left to think, man, this is just a bunch of made up stuff. Everything, the sources are cited. So you put a question in and you can rely on that. Most people I knew have moved from Google to Perplexity specifically because of the sourcing. And I'll just say this, the future of recruitment, it's not AI versus human, it's humans using AI. So that we have to keep that in mind.
Hey folks, Stefan's good-looking AI helper again. I hope you see the powerful value of AI for your company. Shout out to OutSolve for this incredible event. AI in HR is here to stay, and the best is yet to come. And Stefan, I'll have my assistant send you my invoice.
So thank you all very much. I appreciate it.